Did you know that there's a very simple way to see problems as opportunities, and it's called reframing? So, what I'm going to do is break down for you how you can simply transform your viewpoint, transform your focus from thinking about the problem and turning that into opportunity. Because many of us, when we think about the problem, oftentimes, and you may be one of these people, that experience a sense of being paralyzed by the problem, being paralyzed by the anxiety, being paralyzed about the depression, the feeling that you're lost and that you don't know how to pull yourself out of this situation. But you must recognize with everything that you experience, it's all about perspective. When you know how to master your perspective, you know how to focus your mind toward a particular goal or an idea, then it's just simply a matter of being focused and persistent in that direction will actually materialize the answer, the solution for you. So you must understand that it is important to reframe your problems from thinking of it in terms of, well, this is the way it is, this is life, there's nothing I can do about it, to acknowledging that there is a great opportunity here. And by doing so, you learn to gain power and really tap into that power within you to create essentially whatever it is that you desire. Because in reality, creation doesn't happen when things are completely perfect, right? Though, yes, when things are calm and peaceful, it does allow for creativity to happen, right? But when we are desiring to materialize something, to create something, it is coming from a place of acknowledging that we are not in alignment with what we're supposed to be doing. So everything that you want to materialize, manifest, create, has more to do with you not being directly in alignment with how you should be living based on who you truly are versus you actually living this life that has been programmed into you, right? Has been given to you by way of your parents, by way of your surroundings, and even your own identity. You know, this false self of who you think you are, and then living from that space a life that you think you should be living, when in fact, none of those things are in alignment with your true self, right? So the mission here and the journey here in spirituality is to leave those false realities, the false perceptions behind and move forward with the understanding that there is a truth, right, as to who you are and what you're here to do that must fall into place, right? That you must obtain and achieve. And so the journey here is recognizing that when you are looking to materialize something, when you are looking to create something that you desire, it is in tune with your true self, your consciousness, right? Leading you to the way of your heart's desire, like leading you to the way of what you're here to do, your true purpose. And so you have to acknowledge that this understanding, okay, these things that I desire are not just superficial things. Now, yes, I talk a lot about want versus desires, and usually our wants come from this false self, right? You want $1 million, you want the dream house, you want the dream car. But really, there's something deeper, right? Which represents your desire to be financially free, to be able to do the things you want to do when you want to do them, right? To live a life where you are, accepted for who you are, right? So you have to understand that there are levels to it, but you must understand the deepest level is the truth, which is the level of desire, which is truly what you are looking to manifest and materialize. And then you have to acknowledge that when you have problems, this is an opportunity for self awareness. This is an opportunity for you to tap into this creative power that you have to basically create that which you truly desire. But you must understand that it is by acknowledging where you are, right? Acknowledging that you are not completely satisfied, you're not fulfilled, you're not happy, that means that there is something off, that there's a misalignment with who you truly are and what you're doing. Okay. So this is an opportunity for you to actually really take a serious look at yourself. Take a serious look at what's happening right now at this current moment versus what is happening in your mind as desire, as passions you wish to pursue, right? As curiosities you wish to investigate that you're intrigued by. So the journey here with reframing is understanding, okay, this is the canvas, right? This is where I am right now. And this is the artwork that I wish to create. Okay. So where you are right now is this blank canvas or this piece of material. And you wish to turn that material into something that represents who you are, represents who you truly are. And so that's how we connect self awareness with creativity. Because now you are taking something, right? You are self aware as to what's going on. And then you are using creativity to turn that into what you find to fully express your truth. You see? And so reframing is understanding that you are not these things that you are identifying with now. Okay. You are not your job. You are not the relationship that is unfulfilled and not happy or toxic, right? You are not your thoughts. You are not your feelings, right? These are all just concepts and things to collect data and information. Okay. And the part of you that is analyzing and collecting this data is your consciousness. Okay. And you are recognizing that everything that you're collecting as an experience in totality does not match with your consciousness, with who you truly are. And so now you have to identify, okay, there's a disconnect with who I am being, right? Versus who I am. And now you have to learn, okay, this is fine. Like, don't judge this. Don't be ashamed of this because this is where spirituality happens. Spirituality happens when you can take a full inventory of what's going on, right? And then you can transform that, right? You can use that creative power that you have because you are a creator and create out of this situation the thing which you desire to experience. So reframing is about looking at where you are and saying, okay, this isn't right. And now I need to take this, turn these quote unquote problems or this problem that I have into an opportunity. Because the problem that you have, instead of focusing on the problem in itself and feeling like you're lost and you have nowhere to go with it, you actually look at it as a symptom of your disconnection with your core self. The reason why you have this problem isn't because life just happens and there is nothing that you can say or do about it. Remember, life does not happen to you. Life happens from you. So it is a state or a way of being that has caused this particular problem to exist. And so when you look at it from that framework, and you take full responsibility, accountability for it, right? This isn't about blame. This is just saying, okay, this exists because either I did something I shouldn't have done, I did something that I wasn't aware of, I was ignorant to something I didn't know. Okay, but now I can take full ownership knowing that I can change this. And so now you are looking at it and saying, okay, this happened maybe because, right? Or not. Maybe you're just saying, okay, this is what is going on in this current moment, but this is what I desire. And so you can look at it and say, okay, how do I turn this into this? You identify that with owning the situation, not ignoring it, not being ashamed of it, not sweeping it under the rug, but looking at it from the standpoint of it is only a symptom of who I once were, like what I once did or what I once didn't do. Okay. Because a lot of times problems result from you not doing something you were supposed to do or should have done. But nonetheless, it is about taking ownership right now and saying, okay, this is the situation. Now let's turn this into the art form or the piece of work that I desire of myself, which is my true desire, which is your true, idea of how you wish to live your life. And so you take ownership, you transform it by simply first starting to identify that this is simply an opportunity to look at yourself or look at who you once were that created this symptom, right? Which is the current problem. And then identify, okay, that state of being does not serve me because at this current moment, I identified that as a problem and I do not wish to experience that anymore. You focus on that which you wish to experience. And then you understand that the experience that you no longer wish to have is a result of who you were being. And in order for you to have the experience that you desire, you must now transform and focus in on being the person that actually creates that experience that you desire. So, in reframing and understanding the opportunity in the problem, you are essentially looking at yourself and reframing who you were and how you were being to understanding in order for you to create this desire that you have to reframe how you identify with yourself, how you act, how you think, what you do, right? In order to materialize and sync and align and be on the same frequency and vibration of that which you desire. So that's the important thing to understand. This catalyst of understanding the importance of self awareness and creativity is imperative when it comes to reframing the problem and understanding that that problem is actually an opportunity for spiritual growth. You see, remember, manifestation is not just about the materialization of a particular thing. Manifestation is the stepping stones, right? It is the bricks along the path of your true, self-realization into who you are, who you truly are. So each thing that you materialize, each thing that you are experiencing is there to support you in you coming into that self-realization. So if there is a quote unquote problem, it really isn't a problem. It is a problem when you don't deal with it, right? Because it will continue to persist and irritate you and haunt you throughout your life. But when you identify it, when you look at it and you see it as a reflection of who you once were, then you can look at it now as an opportunity for you to become your true self, to become the person that you're meant to be. You see? And so now it means taking the opportunity to not see a problem as something that you should be ashamed of, that you should feel bad about, that you should be angry about, but from a standpoint of gratitude that, hey, you know what? I am grateful because I have the inner wisdom to now look at this quote unquote problem as an opportunity for growth. Okay. I have now the opportunity to look at this problem as a reflection of who I am currently being. And when you look at it that way, and you look at it as a reflection of who you were being or who you're currently being, and identify by way of conscious, analyzing and looking and critiquing, then you can identify, wait a minute, okay, if I'm being this person, in order for you to actually create and materialize the thing that you desire, then you must be another person, which is your true self, right? The true essence of who you are, because that is where the desire comes from. Your true desire, your true purpose, that comes from your true self. So as you look deep into these desires, as you look deep into your passions and the things that you wish to create, then that begins a transformation of identifying that these quote unquote problems or obstacles or challenges or trials are actually there to wake you up. That's what they're there for. They're there for you to identify that you do not wish to experience this. In order for you to focus in on what you want to experience, most times we have to first identify the thing that we don't want to experience. you see, because that creates a framework, that creates the path, the direction, right, toward that which you desire. It is very important to recognize the importance of looking at what you don't want and what you do want. Just like you have to acknowledge the contrast of the universe, up, down, front, back, good, evil, right? You have to look at your don'ts, the things you do not desire versus the things that you do desire, because it gives you the full picture. And so, as you are living your life currently and you're looking at things that you do not desire to experience anymore, that lends you, right, to the awakening of what it is that you do desire. And so then you transform yourself from continuing to be the person that has created that which you don't desire into, right, the opportunity to be the person that creates the things that you do desire. And this is the art of reframing, things that you identify as a problem into an opportunity, because it means reframing who you were that created the problem, right? Who you thought you were into who you truly are, which actually creates not only the solution, not only the opportunity, but the truth as to your purpose. Thank you so much. Feel free to go to drabundant.com, subscribe to my daily newsletter, get access to this free ebook, and so much more. Continue to join me on this journey. Peace and abundance always.